Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So in last episode, we took on the Minnesota Wild in the first round of the playoffs, and unfortunately for us, we suffered yet again another first round exit. I really don't know what the problem is with this team and why we can't get past like the first round or second round even. Asher Vance was incredible as he normally is. He had 9 points in 6 games, and he was a goal a game pretty much. Cale Makar was good. Like, the offense, I would say, pretty solid for the top 6, but then, like, the depth scoring wasn't really there. Like, Pettersson, for example, struggled. He had only 2 goals. And then guys like Kurashev, who had a really solid regular season, was not good at all. He didn't score a single goal, and he was a -6 in those 6 games. So I really don't know what the problem is at the moment, but at least we have a lot of good youth coming up through our system that hopefully could rejuvenate this team and turn them into being a contender. Also, with being Asher Vance still being here for quite some time, hopefully he gets a chance to just all of a sudden completely go off and carry this team past the first round and get a Stanley Cup at some point. Because, yeah, Asher Vance is definitely probably going to be one of our best players of like all time, I'd say, based on his like almost 4 straight 50-goal seasons. So very excited to see what he could do next season. Obviously, we need to first get into the offseason first, and hopefully that we can get some good young players into our lineup, and that could also help things. We're probably going to end up losing a couple players this offseason, like Kurashev, for example, whose contract finally came to an end this season. So likely Kurashev is gone, I'd say, and then we are maybe going to make some defensive changes this offseason as well, because we got a lot of defensive prospects. I'm thinking maybe trading away Korchinski because his value at least is still decent, and he will only have 1 more year left on his contract, and then basically he'd probably walk to free agency with the amount of young guys we have coming up. So I think we might end up trying to trade Korchinski. We will probably end up letting go of Chernak, and then basically we'll still have Makar and Brunstrom. We'll have Glenn Morris and Lowry, and then we'll have some guys from the AHL team, which there is like at least 3 or 4 defenders that are ready in the AHL. So I think trading Korchinski might make sense for this team. So I might look for some trades at the draft. But I don't know if I'll make a trade until next episode, because I definitely think what we could do here is like move out Korchinski. We can move out maybe even a prospect if we have to. And we could probably find like somebody else to play with Vance and stuff like that, because Vance is definitely our best offensive player, but we do need a kind of like a 2-headed monster in a sense, because if you think back to my Arizona series, I had Agostino, but I also had Michkov. Those two were really good together. Right now we really only have Vance, and we don't have that secondary guy. Like, Nazar's been good, but he hasn't been elite by any standards. So I think we definitely need to find ourselves another elite player to play with Asher Vance, and then hopefully that will help out with the top 6 offense, and hopefully that gives us maybe a bit more depth scoring as well throughout our lineup. But anyways, let's get into this draft and see what we can do for a trade for Korchinski. I didn't get any comments in the last episode, surprisingly, so don't really know what we're drafting in this episode, but we'll take a look and see if we can make some interesting trade here this offseason. So Islanders have the first overall pick, though, this year. They're trying to trade the first overall pick, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to try and trade for the first overall pick, but I probably would be able to. But we don't really know if this guy's a franchise player. That's the only thing. Like, we know that the next guy's medium elite, obviously, but is this guy elite as well? Or is he a franchise player? I have no idea. So I don't think it's worth really moving up, but that's an interesting one there, that the Islanders actually want to move the top pick in this year's draft. So, but let's go to find trade for an example and see what we could maybe get for Korchinski. He has good value, like I said. We also have like our first round pick we could potentially throw into a deal, so we might be able to find ourselves a pretty good trade for a top 6 like offensive player. That's not exactly what I had in mind, though. Jarvis, Geeky, and Gauthier. Yeah, that's not really what I had in mind. Martin Necas is not bad, but 7 years at $10 million is a bit expensive, especially when we have all the youth coming up. Nybeck and Grundstrom, Joel Eriksson, Tracy in a 4th, Timo Meyer, who recently went to the New Jersey Devils, interesting, and a 3rd round pick, and Maxime Comtois. And then Fiala, who we don't want to bring back, Jones and Boucher. I don't really like any of those trades. Let me just take a look at maybe see what teams have some good players out there on the block, though. Because I do think we might move Korchinski in this episode, but if it's not this episode, maybe it'll be next episode, because you guys could probably give me some trade suggestions when we look at the trading block. But look at that value. he's got good value, so I think we should probably capitalize on that while it's as high as it is. Let's go to skaters matching block, see what people have for good forwards. So Adrian Kempe is not really what I'm looking for. And yeah, Troy Terry's not really either. They're kind of too old. I would rather somebody that's kind of younger, like maybe the same around age as Asher Vance, maybe a little bit older, like 26. Nobody there interesting to me. Nick Kastad was getting offered to us by Carolina's 32, which sucks. But if he was younger, I would maybe be interested in him. Seth Jarvis is kind of an interesting one, though, to be honest. Sniper as well does not fit any of our system, though. That's the only problem. He's also getting paid a bit too much, I'd say. But that's still kind of an interesting one. What else we got here? Anything else that I could potentially trade for, or am I going to have to wait till next episode to trade Korchinski? And the Islanders take their first pick, so it wasn't a franchise player, but there is an 80 overall guy, so this draft class might be a little bit weak compared to some of the others that we've seen. Let me just go back to the trading block again here on these teams, or the people matching our block. What team are we even on now? God damn it. I hate when the game interrupts me. Let's see. Let's keep sorting by overall as well, though, so that way we can know who is the best players on each team on the block. 83 at 29. Not really into Holtz, though, to be honest. Joel Eriksson next, 34. We're looking for somebody that's youngish. Timo Meier is on the block, but it wasn't he. Oh yeah, that was the guy that we were just getting offered. Yeah, I thought he got traded already for some weird reason, just because of real life, I guess. But Gabe Velarde's 31. Sucks that he's a little bit too old. Yeah, there's a little bit too much of old guys right now on the block. Like, I want somebody younger, to be honest, in 30. And none of these guys would probably be on the block. Like, I'd have to look for somebody. Actually, let's sort by trade value, and maybe that would be easier. Like, somebody like this Wall guy would be interesting, but he's medium elite. 24, he's probably not going to reach his elite potential, to be honest. Playmaker, has good passing, does not fit our system, though. If he did, though, that would be an interesting one to maybe trade for, since he'd be maybe a better version of somebody like Nazar. What else we got here? We're going to get interrupted soon, though, again, by this Dem game. I hate when it interrupts me. Goddamn. Yeah, I honestly might wait till next episode to make some sort of a trade, because that way I could show you guys the block and you guys could help me out. Try and figure out something that would work for a good deal. Because I'm not too focused on what we're drafting. Like, I honestly could move out one of our defensive prospects, because we might not be able to play them all, but we'll probably won't be able to. So we might have to move out somebody from that. 26 and 85, Danielson. Oh yeah, that's the guy we just played against in the playoffs. So they probably wouldn't want to move him anyways. Olofsson, 84 at 24. Pending RFA probably is a power forward. Really good shooting categories. Scored 34 goals this year. Huh. I mean, I don't really need another goal scorer to play with him, but this kid is looking pretty solid. When was he drafted? 17th overall, not bad. We're going to get interrupted here shortly because this game likes to bring up this interruption part. There you go, there's the interruption. Menino, 80 overall sniper. Marty Menino. Interesting. Yeah, this is a weird draft class. It's probably not going to be that great of one, so moving our first round pick would be great, but I don't know if it's going to be something we end up doing, to be honest. Because we've been drafting pretty well, I'd say, for the most part. Let's continue to sort by trade value. Maybe that will help us out in terms of finding somebody. 86 at 22, but medium elite potential, so probably not wanting to get moved. 85 at 26 for Brandon Yeager's not bad, but I don't really know about having a first-line two-way forward. He does have good passing stats. He was a high pick, but I don't really know. I really don't know. I would rather somebody probably that's like a playmaker, to be honest. What else we got here? 85 at 24 for this Cox guy. He is signed for 4 years. Skylar Cox, former 6th overall pick. He is a playmaker. Doesn't have the best passing, but if that gets better, this guy's pretty solid. Huh. Yeah, that contract's not bad either, but obviously after that contract, we might lose that guy if we end up trading for him. But that's still not a bad player to trade for potentially, but I don't know if the Rangers would want to do that. Because most of these teams probably wouldn't want to move out from a young guy like that, but you never know. There is also Skula, who's the pending UFA, who is very intriguing to me, but I don't see us being able to move him in. He's also a sniper too, so he does score a lot of goals. I don't really think... even if he hits the free agency, I might want to go after him though. So I might, but then we'd have two really good snipers, and we wouldn't have a playmaker really other than Nazar. Yeah, I think we're not gonna make a trade yet. We're gonna wait till next episode, just because it just makes more sense. I think that way that you guys can give me some suggestions, and I don't have to like kind of look on my own in terms of trades. So let's continue to sim these first top 5. Spruev at number 3 is the best overall player in the draft so far. Not bad. Pretty big guy, but he's not a power forward. He's a two-way forward. So there you go. There is a pretty good shutdown forward for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Detroit at number 4 is going to take Moses. I think that's pronounced as 79 power forward. Motis. Moses. Yeah, it's Moses, I think. And finally, San Jose at number 5 is going to take Wiseman, who's a top 6 grinder with his zone ability. That's interesting. Unstoppable force, huh? And relentless. This is going to be a really interesting player to see how he develops. He doesn't look like the greatest offensive player, but he might be still like a really good like defensive guy. Also very physical, I'm guessing. So that is the top 5 in this year's draft. Let's sim to our pick. See what we could get up here at number 22. Is it going to be somebody that actually makes her lineup or whatnot? Oh yeah, I was looking at the goaltender. That is right. I actually might still go with the goaltender, but there wasn't there another player I pinned that I really liked? I think so. Oh yeah, it was Weeks. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. 38th. If I trade for an early second rounder, Detroit does want to move that second rounder, but I don't really know what we give up in order to do that. Like if we go to draft picks here, if we give our second rounder, obviously, and then we give like an extra 7th rounder in this deal, I honestly could get it done already. Now let's just try this and see if they would moving up. Obviously, I could give them like a 5th rounder, but I want to have both these guys, like the goalie and this forward prospect. So that's rejected. Okay, would you take the 5th rounder? That should work. Rejected still. Would you take a 4th rounder? Because I do not want to give you guys a 3rd. I could give you a 4th and a 7th. I don't really care. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys like a 4th and a 7th. Enjoy the extra picks, so why not? There we go. So we move up in the 2nd round, which is good. We move up a couple spots, which means we're going to be able to get both these guys. So let's take the goalie first because he's supposed to go in this round. So Aiden Howden, welcome to Chicago. 63 medium elite. I was hoping he'd be a high elite, but still 63 medium elite is really good. And he does have some zone abilities. He's got contortionist, extra padding dialed in, and post-to-post. No zone ability, but that doesn't really matter too much. But there is a goaltender of the future, hopefully, for this team. Unless Donald decides to take over that reins. But it doesn't really matter who we get in terms of goaltending. But I just wanted more goalie prospects in case. They're always easy to move out as well. So, and now we're going to be able to grab Lane Weeks here, who looks like he's going to be a low elite player, which would be great. He also does have for sure big rig, which is nice. So welcome aboard Lane Weeks to Chicago. Yep, 66 overall low lead power forward. Yo, I'm excited about that. And a zone ability, as I was mentioning, and a lot of other abilities. This guy's going to be a very physical player, I think, but it depends on how he develops. But big rig is his zone ability, and he has no contest, so good puck battling. He's got great strength with the puck. He's got great rebound opportunities, great at screening a goaltender, and he's also got good hitting. Yeah, this guy's going to be a machine. Very excited for that. That might be the type of player we exactly need to play with Asher Vance, so I will take that. Let's sim to our next pick here in the 3rd round. Yeah, the rest of this draft is not looking as good. There might be a low lead here in Patan, who looks actually decent, so I think I might take him. He's 17 as well. So might as well take a chance on the 17-year-old. So Kirk Patan, welcome also to Chicago. Low top 6 only. Damn. 63 overall. That's not bad. So there you go on Patan. Let's send him to our next pick here. All the way in round number 5. Yeah, this draft class has definitely dropped off a lot. I don't know if I would rather a low bottom 6 or a low top 9, to be honest, but this guy has decent shooting and puck skills. He is an overager, though. That's the only problem. Yeah, this draft is not looking too good. Let me sort by potential. Any low elites that are still around? No, it doesn't look like it. Unless some of these guys are, but I doubt it. Yeah, this is not a great draft class, to be honest. So, let's take this guy here, Emmanuel Boucher, though, because he might be a low elite. Low top 9. Not great, but oh well. Decent shooting categories, maybe become something at the AHL level if he develops fast enough. If he doesn't, obviously he'd just be heading to free agency, but maybe he becomes a trade piece. Walker Fenton does not look great. And now we're getting into the medium 7th D category. Damn, yeah, this is a really bad draft in terms of depth. I might go with this guy if he's a low top 6 in Breland. Really good puck skills, but pretty much shit at everything else. And let's take him for the puck skills, why not? 59 overall, low top 9 as well. And yeah, those puck skills are actually really good. Wow, okay. Really weird player. It did say he had good puck skills, and he has 87 passing, but his offensive awareness is a 68. I'm curious on how that guy would simulate, to be honest. It'd be interesting to sign him to his ELC, but I don't know if I'll do that. Okay, let's get the rest of this draft done. There it is. I'd say that's a pretty successful draft, all things considered. We grab ourselves a medium elite goaltender, maybe the best goalie we have for the future of this team. We also grabbed that low elite power forward, which I think he's going to be a stud. And the rest of those picks, pretty much, I'd say, might not make it, but who knows, maybe they'll develop well enough to end up making it for this team. Let's get to this resign stage now, and then I'll set up the next episode. So we got to get back our goalie coach and associate coach. Let's see what we got here. Let's try and talk him up a little bit. There you go, associate coach. Hopefully you accept. If not, I could always change up the coaching staff maybe a little bit. Maybe that's what our problem is with the team. NHL goalie coach, and we'll give you, like, I don't really care how much. There you go. So if those guys don't accept, we could always find more coaches, but maybe we do need to change up our coaching staff somewhat. I don't really know what the problem is, but there's definitely some sort of an underlying problem that I can't put my finger on. Okay, so let's get back to these scouts. We got Ritu, Cole Ritu, what a name. We also got Mr. Sydney Knight, or it might be a female actually, to be honest. Lapalainen, Timo, or Timo, one of the two. We also got Ryan Cullen. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it for scouts. Perfect. Okay, resign stage-wise. So we got to resign again. It's been a while since I've recorded, so... Oh, yeah. I think I honestly might let go of all these UFAs, just because I don't know how much players we have in our system. But let's qualify Little, because I don't know about $3 million for him yet. Let's qualify him. Bales, I was thinking about giving an 8-year deal to, and I think I'm still going to, because, I mean, 8 years at 2.8. That's a really cheap contract. Obviously, I could do the 85% trick as well. So let me open up my calculator here and do some math. Some quick math. So we'll see if we can get him for 85% of 2.8, which, I mean, that would be awesome for 8 years. Bale scores a good amount of goals, so I'm willing to take that risk. He's going to be like the new Kershev pretty much on a deal. So we'll times that by 0.85. So we look like we could maybe get him to actually, yeah, right around this category, actually. Wait, not this part. Wait, no, it actually is right there. Yeah, right at 2.4. So we might be able to save right around $400,000 on this 8-year deal. So we'll see if he accepts that. If he does, then that would be great. He's a part of this future, I think. Maybe on a third line or a second line, but regardless, I think he's part of the future here. Rest of these guys, I did like the fourth line and how they performed last year, but I don't really know if I have the room for them. I might bring back Pinto, but at Colasar, I'm probably going to let go of because he's dropping off more faster. Ooh, 2.25. Yeah, I'm going to let go of pretty much all the UFAs except for Pinto, I think. So somebody like Brock Besser, he's dropping off production-wise as well. He only had 20 goals last year, so we're going to let go of Brock Besser. We're also going to let go of Eric Chernak, I think. Yeah, we're going to let go of Chernak for now as well. You guys might be like, why are you letting go of all these players? But it doesn't really matter. I think we're going to find some good players in free agency, and that's more of what we're going to look for to add to our young prospects that are up and coming. So let's first let go of Stankoven, I think, for now. Let's let go of Colasar. And then, as I was saying, Pinto, I wouldn't mind bringing back for a one-year deal, so let's give him what he wants. And do I want to bring back Chris Dahl as an RFA? Yeah, why not? He could just be like a depth option for the team. And then Philip Kurashev, I'm going to be also letting go of because he doesn't want too much money, but he's still like, I really don't know about Kurashev. Maybe that's why we're losing games still, is because he's still on the team after all these years. I don't really know. Yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Philip Kurashev here. So best of luck in free agency there, Philip Kurashev. Thank you for playing here for like the last 8 years. Even though we've never really done anything. Maybe we'll bring him back in free agency. Who knows? We'll see about that. Let's qualify the rest of these RFAs. This guy's a UFA. Kagorodov. Let's just give him a two-way deal. But we do need to get some more guys into our systems, so I probably should let go of some of those UFAs in the AHL. Like Savoie, you're gone. Strimbo is also a UFA. How much guys are expiring in terms of rookies and stuff like that? Like, do we have any good young guys down here? Yeah, Packer Schlotty needs a contract. Letty, top 9 potential, was a third-round pick. He might be something. But 65 at 20 is not great. I was hoping for more like a 70. So, you know what? I think I'm going to let go of Letty, even though it has potential. To the rest of these guys, I don't really know if I should bring them back for the AHL yet. Let's go over to goaltenders. Let's get Tukio his ELC. And let's let go of Hendrickson. Jari, I'm going to wait on for now, but I think I'm going to let Jari walk. Let's qualify Skirbic. Pitton, what do you want for a contract? Not a lot. He's not going to really develop much more than this, so I will give him... he'll be a UFA at the end of it, but let's give him the 2 years that he wants. It's cheap. And let's qualify Patterson. And unsigned-wise, we are going to sign Corrado to his ELC, but he might not be AHL eligible yet. I don't think he is. I'll also sign Patterson, but they probably both won't play in the AHL yet. Lane Weeks also isn't AHL eligible, so I'll probably wait a year on him, unless you guys think I should sign him. And I guess I'll get the rest of these AHL guys back as well if they want to accept. But I'll probably give them one-year deals, some of them. Just because, obviously, we need to replace them with younger guys that will eventually make it. And I don't know why Coco still wants 1.3. Like, this guy was an RFA last year. For some reason, he thinks he's worth an NHL contract. I don't know why, but he is gone. If you want a one-way deal, you're gone, basically. It makes no sense. So there you go on that front. And then also Tristan Jari is going to probably be leaving the team just because we do got Donald, who should be our backup next season. Yeah, he should be our backup next season. So basically we could run Pitton and Donald, which means, Jari is gone. So best of luck there in free agency, Jari. And let's just advance a day and see if we get all these guys. I think we should be able to. At least I hope. Okay, so it looks like Ezra Harrison, our goaltending coach, does not want to come back as a goaltending coach, but it is what it is. We'll probably find a new goalie coach at the start of next season, if I remember, so try and remind me. Okay, let's just go through this quickly and see if there was any rejections. No rejections on the UFA front, and all our RFAs are qualified. Perfect. That is good news. So we did get Bales on an 8-year deal at $2.4 million. Yep. Wow. Okay. Nice cheap contract. I think that he's worth that type of money too. Because like if you look at his goal scoring ability, He almost had a 30-goal season this year. He takes a lot of shots, so if we put him on the power play with some good players, this guy will be worth every single penny, I think. And he had a 40-goal AHL season, so I think this kid is just hitting the beginning. Obviously, he hasn't been great in the playoffs so far, but maybe he'll find that in the next few years. So there's that. And yeah, all those RFAs will be relatively cheap. Actually, most of these guys should be on two-way deals, right? Yeah, let's just get all the ones that are already on two-way deals. Just because might as well. That way we don't have to look and see how much RFAs we have left. So, and yeah, these guys are going to be really cheap probably as well, yeah. I'll keep these guys qualified for now. Ooh, I didn't realize Little's a UFA at the end of this year, though. Huh. He's an 82 at 24. 28 points last year in 56 games. Huh. I do like Donald Little a lot. What did he want? You know what? We're going to give him the 3x3. I think he's a low-risk player. 3x3 is also a movable contract if we need to, so let's give him what he wants already, and we'll be down to 25 million in cap space, I believe. Let's just see if he accepts that, which he does accept that. Perfect. As all the AHL guys do. So we're basically just got Crystal qualified, and same with Patterson. Actually, Patterson's probably going to want a two-way, right? Yeah, let's do that. Boom. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of cap space for free agents, which is good. But we also do have to sign a lot of players. So roster-wise right now, before we take a look at free agency, we have Vance, Nazar, Pedersen, Pinto, Crystal, Ziska. So 3, 6 potential roster players, 7, 8, 9. I'd say Patterson's probably not going to play in the NHL yet, but 9 roster players, 10, 11, 12. We honestly might have a full roster almost already, but we could still bring somebody in. And then it comes down to defense. Do we want to move Korchinski? Because we have Potter on the uprise, Ovechkin on the uprise, Niittymaki on the uprise. We should probably look at trading Korchinski, and then we could basically do, like I was mentioning earlier, Makar Brunstrom, Morrison Lowry probably, and then probably I would say Potter and maybe Niittymaki, maybe Ovechkin actually and Niittymaki. I don't know about Potter yet, but yeah, I think this team is definitely coming along. Goaltending definitely might be a bit weak next season, but I would rather a cheap goaltending core than like paying $10 million to a elite goaltender. So we might not need to sign too much, but we could make a big trade in next episode. So I don't think we're going to sign too much, maybe some depth guys, but I think we are going to probably look at maybe moving out Korchinski, which might make our defensive core look really weak, but at the same time, we could maybe find that top guy to play alongside of Asher Vance, which would be good. So let's take a look at free agency first, and then we'll take a look at the trading block and see if there's anything out there. So let's start off with the centers. And yeah, this is a good free agent pool, so we could definitely find some good players. Let's go to UFAs only. Yeah, there are some really good players this year. So there is Stützle, who's already 29. Shane Wright, who's 27 but wants 14 million. And then there's a guy that's 25 in Emil Reefers, who's a two-way forward. Former second overall pick, is also fits on all 4 lines. Interesting. How's his point production? Pretty solid, actually. Yeah, pretty solid. 8 assists in 13 playoff games before. He's a good playoff performer too, it looks like. Good passing. Might be something we'd look at. I don't really know if he's the top guy we need. We have the cap space. He's not asking for too much. There's also Eklund, but he's already 28. Barzal, Lundell. Yeah, there are some really good players in terms of centers here in free agency. Yeah, we could definitely find somebody good in free agency, or we could try and make a trade instead since we have the assets. Like I said, moving Korchinski, we could do that, but we don't have to do that. Because, like, the guy might leave us at the end of the season, so this guy's interesting. Only a 23-year-old. He's a free agent. 16 points in 82 games last year. That was his only season in the NHL. I don't know. Maybe that guy becomes something. Maybe that's something I'd look at as like a depth option or a bottom 6 option. Yeah, that's not bad. 23-year-old, that's a UFA. I like it. So there is the centers. Left wing wise, the best is Zadina. Don't really need him. Boldy, Bertuzzi. Yeah, not really seeing too much in terms of the left wing pool. There is this 26-year-old sniper, but I don't feel like playing multiple snipers on the same line would make sense, but maybe it does. This guy does fit our top 6. So Beta might be interesting. There's also Goddard. Probably would rather like somebody that sets up a lot of goals. Somebody like Nazar right now. I don't really know. But there is a lot of options, which is good. DeBrincat, Terry, Besser obviously would let go of. Yeah, so it looks like centers are the best in terms of forwards that are available in free agency. So there's that, as well as Lejunin, power forward. Good shooting categories. 17 goals in 68 games. Looks like a good power play player, but don't really know if that's somebody we really need to bring in or not. And then defensively, if we wanted to bring in a defenseman, but I don't think it's necessary with the prospects coming up. Brandt Clark is available. Yeah, there's some good defenders out there too. I definitely think we're going to be a worse defensive team this upcoming season, but also maybe it will help us in the long run. Who knows? Really, if what this team really needs to start winning games in the postseason. And goalie-wise, in case we wanted to find a new goalie instead of like letting Donald get an opportunity, Comesso's headed back to free agency after playing with the Winnipeg Jets. He won the Vezina last year, but he's a free agent now. Thinks he's worth $8.425 million. It's funny. Yeah, we don't really need one of these big stud goalies because we know that they don't perform in franchise mode anyways. But if we wanted to bring in a goaltender, somebody like Ola Josephson would probably be the best option, I guess. So there we go in terms of free agents. Let's take a look at the trading block, and then that'll be it for this episode. See if there's a trade that we could work up for Korchinski. Any players on the block? So far it's just picks, which is weird. Yeah, so far no team has any players on the block. That's kind of interesting. There's one, but Boquist is not what I have in mind with this team. There we go. We got a few. So Hronik, Jake Sanderson, who was a free agent recently, Jacob Bernard Docker as well, and Kolyachonok and Malak. So a lot of defenders there. We're looking for a forward, though, not a defenseman. So we might have to look at the team's skaters matching block thing. Bordelot, 81, 29, not really what I had in mind either. Lundestrom, Holtz, Foodie, not really what I have in mind. Yeah, we might honestly have to just sign what we need. Because a lot of these guys are not really what I have in mind. Because we need that type of player like a Michkov almost, you know? Fiala, Hagel, Jones. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot actually on the block, surprisingly. PLD, I don't really know about PLD, to be honest. He's definitely one of the best players out there, but I don't think he's what I'm looking for, really. Let's go to proposed trade, though. And just see skaters matching block instead. Maybe that'll help us a little bit here. No data to display at this time, huh? Seems like no players match my block. And then we're seeing the ones that we were already seeing on the trading block. Maybe I should readjust our block a little bit. I should actually also look for a trade for Korchinski just to do the trade finder and see what we get thrown at us. And then I'll be it probably for this episode at that point. Yeah, I think we might honestly hold on to Korchinski and let him walk next offseason. But then again, also that means like Niittymaki or somebody's going to get another year in the AHL, which isn't great considering they're almost all like depth defenders. So don't really know on that front, but we might honestly have to hold on to Korchinski unless there is a trade that we could find here. So let's see what pops up for Korchinski. 2 seconds in Bordelot. God damn. Looks like his value has dropped off a little bit. Huh. Let me actually go to edit our block and see if that helps out with the trading thing. Because maybe the trading block is just not set up properly. Our wants, we do not care about goaltenders. Actually, let me just remove some of these because I do not care about goalies. I only want a forward that is like a first liner. That is probably, I'd say, like 23 to 20, or 23 to 28, maybe. Yeah, 23 to 28. And probably has like 1 year left on his deal. Maybe not 1 year, actually. I'll just keep it at a max of 12. Because if we go to in specific, we won't find anything. Let's remove that. Current picks, we do not need first round picks. We do not need second round picks. We do not need third rounders or fourth rounders. We're trying to find a contender. Let's keep that off. Boom. Okay, so now let's try and see what we could, if anything else comes up for Korchinski. Or we go to open trading block and see if that changes things. Okay, let's see. Nothing found. How about open trading block? Nothing found. Okay, never mind. But maybe we still try to find a trade for Korchinski. Maybe we don't. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So, in next episode, we'll take it to free agency. We might make some signings to bolster our team a little bit more. But I think our team is going to be exciting next season with the amount of youth coming up. And also, of course, with Asher Vance being the machine he is. Send us a thing down below. And I'll see you guys next time.